you'll see that we start on this classic page. Classic is a page, we call it that because we've had a look like this for all 25 years that our software has been in existence. And throughout out that time, we found being able to see your contacts and appointments and tasks all on one screen was a great way to work. And I've also found over the years that many new users come in thinking, I just need a calendar, I just need a contact list. But when you start to get a feel for how these things interact and build and communicate with each other, I think you'll find you'll get a lot of use out of the way the appointments and the tasks work in addition to the contacts. To give you a quick example, I'm going to take a name here for John Doe, and I'm just going to drag him, and I'm going to drop it down. I could drop it in appointments or tasks. I'm going to drop it in appointments. And this does a bunch of work for me right off the bat. It is filling out the date I dropped it on. It's filled out a description with their name and their phone number. It starts out with meeting with, which is something you can change in the preferences. I can take some notes to say what it is that we did at this meeting and document that to remember for next time. And there's a section here called linked contacts that because I dragged and dropped it, it's automatically connecting it back to the contact in my address book. And the same thing would be true when we take a task that we've dragged and dropped down. It's again would fill out the call instead of meeting and would have their name and address again, phone number in this case. And I can take notes to say what it is that we talked about, anything I need to remember to do, specifics, and again, the linked contact to connect it. And the magic of that is when we go back to the contact record, whether it's today or a month or a year from now, when I bring up their details, besides the basics you'd expect in a contact with their name and their address and their phone numbers, there's also sections here for the task history where it shows all the prior things plus the things I'm scheduled to do in the future. It's got the appointment history. And if you're using the Intellect program, it's also got their email history of the messages they sent to me or I sent to them, just gathered automatically based on the email address matching the email addresses back on the contact itself. So the contact really becomes a hub, but it's also a gathering place where all of this history is available. And I can click on the details of any of these to get more information about them. I can choose the columns I want to see here as well. So I've turned on notes. You may not see that if you download the trial version until you turn it on yourself. But that's our classic page. It's a great screen for getting done what needs to get done today, and that's very much its focus. There's other buttons over on the left, though, and these buttons are to give you some other perspectives. Same data, just viewed in different ways. Some users really like to set in the preferences for it to start with agenda as their initial view. I think it's popular because it's kind of showing the upcoming week ahead instead of just one day at a time. There's also a calendar view, and the calendar view can show you a week. And the week view is interesting because it's using the start and end time of appointments to help me see when I've got availability and when I'm busy. I've also got a month calendar if I choose to get an even wider angle perspective on what's coming up. In addition to calendar, I have tasks and contacts. They're very similar to what we saw on the classic page, but because they're not having to share room with the other sections of the program, it's got room to show more information, whereas back on the classic page, it had to condense these into a smaller space to see the same information. So it's just a way to get a wider angle again when you're wanting to focus on one section. The mail area, let's go back to that for a second. This is a feature just in the Intellect program and be something where it can do the incoming messages. You can talk to any IMAP or POP3 provider. So most existing email providers will work with Intellect. You don't need to do a new email address or anything. Just work with what you have. And as we're downloading these messages, we do have this column for sender, and I want to point out this one has a hyperlink instead of the rest of them. And that hyperlink is meant to grab my attention to say, this is a message from someone who's known to you, someone who's, because of that email address, is in your contact list. And you can actually click right on that hyperlink, and it'll take us back to the contact details like we saw when we clicked on them from the contact list. Makes it great when you're trying to review the previous email history with someone and see what you've talked about in the past. Maybe that's not on the existing thread of the current email message. So really helps me know which messages to read first, not just by their date or the bold ones for what's new, but also by what messages came from someone I know. The project section is an extra bonus database that we include, purely optional whether you want to use it or not. But if you find that you have things that aren't people or events, it's a great database to look into how you can customize it and use it for an extra set of data. And then the last thing to show you down at the bottom, this last button is a report screen. And we've got two ways to search for data. Up here at the top right, which was visible from other panels on the program as well, you can type in a word or a phone number and it'll go search for matches in contacts and appointments and tasks and mail across the board. Where did that phrase occur? So you can get something quickly. But when you're wanting a more detailed report, the report screen, this last option at the bottom, lets you choose your columns like you can on the main screen, but without affecting your view. So you can turn on whatever fields make sense to you. And then you can put in your criteria. You can ask for people filtered in our groups or categories. You could ask for people based on some field you want to search, or you can just hit go and have it find everybody. And the results look like a spreadsheet. Again, more fields can be displayed here than can be on the main screen. And with this kind of report, it'd be something either to get a look at something specific you're trying to find, or even to print or export this data. And again, switching between these views is just as easy as coming back to click on Classic or wherever in the program you want to go. As a very brief overview, I invite you to take a closer look at our Chaos University, where we've got many more videos for you to pick from. You can also download a free trial version of Intellect and try it out for yourself. Thanks.